is to immediately begin that kind of negotiation. And I wouldn't ask the Iranians to give up their quest for nuclear power or anything else. Get them to the table. Let's figure out if there's some way we can, number one, ratchet down the tensions. Number two, prevent them from becoming a nuclear weapons power, because that would be dangerous for all of us. And get the rest of the world to help us. We need China and Russia, the neighbors in the region. That's what I would be doing. The only thing I would add, in addition to thanking you for your service, is that having been in Iraq, you know that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard has assisted the militias and others in killing our Americans and in maiming them. They have imported technology and technical assistance. I believe they are a terrorist group. I think sanctioning them and putting some pressure on them is an important part of getting to the diplomatic table with both carrots and sticks.
All right.
So oppose the rush to war, but get tough and have a diplomatic approach to Iran.
All right. I want to hear from Senator Edwards first. Go ahead, Senator Edwards. You accept her explanation. This was no vote for a rush to war with Iran.
Well, let me say, can I just say first, Christopher, thank you. God bless you for what you did for us and for America. Men and women like you have served this country so courageously, and I'm proud of both you and your mom being here to speak up, because I think this is such a crucial issue for the future of the country. My own view is that it's important for us to stop Bush, Cheney, and the neocons at every single stage, and I think there was an important opportunity to do that on the vote on the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Bush, Cheney, and the neocons wanted the Iranian Revolutionary Guard declared a terrorist group, as Senator Biden just spoke about, because it's part of their path to moving militarily on Iran. And actually, the fear a lot of us had about that was realized about a week ago when Bush, Cheney, and the administration declared the Iranian Revolutionary Guard a terrorist organization and, this is the part everyone's going to love, a proliferator of weapons of mass destruction. We've seen this movie. We know how it turns out. And I think it is absolutely crucial for Democrats on this issue to show real strength, real backbone, and stop this president from moving forward.
Thank you, Senator.
On Iran.
Please stand for a moment. You and I spoke very briefly, and you said you have some concerns about racial profiling.
Yes, I do. I'm an American citizen and have been profiled all the time at the airport. Since 9/11, hundreds of thousands of Americans have been profiled. And you know that it is like a harassment, and my question is that our civil liberties have been taken away from us. What you are going to do to protect the Americans from this kind of harassment?
Senator Edwards, we'd like you to take that. You obviously voted for the Patriot Act, which gives the government extended powers of surveillance. What do you say to people like Mr. Khan who say he's been abused by that power?
And I say he's right. He's right. And this administration has done more than abuse the Patriot Act. And the Patriot Act needs to be dramatically changed, by the way. But in addition to that, the racial profiling that you're describing has to be stopped. And it will be stopped when I'm President of the United States. And we're going to take the steps that need to be taken to restore America's moral leadership in the world. And that means a whole group of things. Stopping the profiling, stopping the illegal, and I use that term intentionally, the illegal spying on the American people that this president has been engaged in. Closing Guantanamo, which I think is a national embarrassment. No more secret prisons. No more rendition. And it's just absolutely amazing to me that there's actually an open discussion in the United States of America about what kind of torture will be tolerated. I'll tell you what kind of torture will be tolerated when I'm President of the United States. No torture will be tolerated when I'm President of the United States.
Thank you, Senator.
We're going to restore our respect in the world.
Congressman Kucinich, I believe you're the only person on this stage who had a chance to vote on the Patriot Act right after 9/11, who voted against it right away.
That's because I read it.
Now, here's the question. Here's the question. Congressman, do you feel, as you felt on other issues, that those who voted for the Patriot Act, and there are several here on this stage, bear a responsibility for the way this individual, this American citizen, is being treated when he goes through an airport?
You're owed an apology. You really are. And every American should be able to present themselves without having to be further scrutinized based on ethnic identity. But let's go back to the point that you made here. The time, the President of the United States is called upon to make the right decision at the right time. And you've seen here tonight, people who voted for the war, voted to fund the war, now they have a different position. People who voted for the Patriot Act, now they have a different position. People who voted for China trade, now they have a different position. People who voted for Yucca Mountain, now they had a different position. Just imagine what it will be like to have a President of the United States who's right the first time. Just imagine. And I don't think that the first questioner's question was really answered about what are you going to do about this president, and for that matter, the vice president, because they're out of control, and the Congress isn't doing anything.
Thank you, Congressman.
It's called impeachment, and you don't wait. You do it now.
All right.
You don't wait.
Suzanne has another question.
Now.
But I want
impeach them now.
Senator Biden, go ahead and respond, because you voted for the Patriot Act.
Facts are a funny thing. They get in the way. You know what I mean? There is nothing in the Patriot Act that allows profiling. Let's get that straight. Nothing in the Patriot Act allows profiling. Number one, you're profiled illegally. I have voted against and worked with legislation with many people in the states to stop profiling. That's number one. It did not. It's not because of the Patriot Act. It's a convenient thing to talk about, number one. Number two, when we had a chance to close down Guantanamo, I voted against funding Guantanamo. Other folks up here voted for funding it, including the two leading candidates. I voted to not build the new $36 million park. I called for closing it 3 years ago. And so, folks, this is not about who was right when. It's what's your plan now. What are you going to do now?
Thank you, Senator. Go ahead, Suzanne.
George Ambries, you're a graduate student here, and you're also a mentor to children. I understand that you have a concern about immigration.
Yes, I do. Buenas noches y bienvenidos. It seems that many political commentators, such as Lou Dobbs, are guiding the debate and strongly shaping U.S. policy on immigration by insinuating a linkage to terrorism. As many people know, no terrorist has come from our southern border. Do you consider fighting terrorism and slowing the flow of illegal immigration coming from our southern border as intrinsically related issues?
Governor Richardson, since you're the only one on this stage who does not support even building a fence, why don't you take this one?
That's not true.
By the way, Dennis, you stop including me in all these votes. I've been a governor. I'm in New Mexico. I'm not in Washington. Here's my answer. 2 years ago, and I'm the only one that's dealt with the immigration issue directly. By the way, with the Congress, let me just say, the Congress's approval rating is 11%. Now, you know who's higher? Dick Cheney and HMOs. My point is that, let's talk about the need to bring this country together. Dysfunctional relationships exist between the President and the Congress that needs to be corrected. Here's my answer. 2 years ago, I'm the first governor that declared a border emergency because the federal government wasn't doing its job in stopping the flow of drugs and people. But you know what? We should stop demonizing immigrants. We should stop doing that. And I'm against the fence. And I am against the fence because it will not work. The Congress only funded half of the fence, and it's not America. What I would do is I would do 4 quick things. One, we have to secure the border. Double the number of Border Patrol agents. Keep the National Guard there a little longer. Detection equipment, as you mentioned. Secondly, those that knowingly hire illegal workers should be punished. Third, we should have a relationship. It's called foreign policy with Mexico. They're our friend, but we should speak frankly to our friends. And it should be something like this. Mexico, give jobs to your people. At the very least, stop handing out maps in the easiest place to cross. And then lastly, a legalization plan. A legalization plan.
Thank you.
Not amnesty, not citizenship, but a path to legalization that involves conditions, learning English,
Thank you.
Paying back
Governor,
taxes. This is a
very
very important issue.
important. I want Senator Dodd, though, to respond, because you voted for that security fence along the border between the U.S. and Mexico.
Well, first of all, bienvenido también. Yo quiero que usted sepa que algunos gringos que hablan español también. Entonces, gracias.